Okay, here we go again. Something's happening with my video camera. So, anyway, I was talking about the state of uh, this. Okay, let me stop this thing from running in the background. Cool. So, this is a second take of something happening to my camera as I'm videoing it. Interference. Okay, just let you know. So, and this is let me put a date. See, I had this Saturday, February 11, 2023. I'm going to be talking about women, so that's probably why my feed got interfered with. A planet cannot survive without women. All right, let's make that perfectly clear. A planet, a city, a state, a country, a village cannot survive without women. Okay, no woman, no cry. Because at some point, if that's if that's your plan, to harm and murder and degrade, let me keep it going. Since I've been born, there has been this ongoing effort for mostly men, in particular, to strip women from all levels of controlling their own bodies, their own mind, their own environment, their own reproduction system. Men have just, I don't know what this is, to be honest, because again, a planet needs women. A planet can survive without men. That's scientific. Research it. Okay, that's why a lot of people say Mother Earth or Mother Nature. Okay, you need that feminine energy to sustain a planet. Men can be eliminated, and the planet will go on and on and on. There is such a planet like that out in the galaxy, by the way, where there's nothing but women there. Because throughout the course of time, space and time, women have been there is always discord with women on this particular planet, and violence, and just so there's a way that women can keep a planet going without men and eliminate men altogether because of their terror and their degeneration. And I think a lot of people do not like darkness or dark times or darkness, because that process of enjoying that has been taken away, per se. Literally, if I love being outside after the sun goes down, but it's not nature that I'm afraid of. It's usually these predator, sociopath, psychopath men roaming the streets at night, harassing women and children, and causing harm to them and taking their lives because of their sexual frustration. They have a deviant, degenerate sexual impulse to just harm people. Women and children and animals, more specifically, are their targets all the time. Okay, so I say to these men, especially these men of these religious affiliations, where you are your whole target is to suppress women, cause and effect. That you're bringing yourself closer to extinction. Just not existing. Okay, not existing at all. I used to stutter real bad. Let me just clear this up. I used to stutter real bad, as a young girl, and I had to take speech classes in order to enunciate properly. But that's every now and then that stutter comes in. It just doesn't go away completely. And if you see me rubbing my eyes a lot, that's because my lashes are turning in, and I'm just trying to flip them out of my eye That's it. So if you see me doing all these, it's all good, by the way. But yes, there is this ongoing, continual campaign to suppress women to just to be objectified only. In other words, for women to only be a whole the fuck in. Okay, these men, these psychopaths, sociopaths, they don't want women talking. They don't want women walking side by side with them, and they have eliminated the discussion of women in books. But are women gone? You understand that? So it's like they don't understand they're committing slow suicide to eliminate themselves, because they always are interfering and worrying about what other people are doing. That's it. And it's sexual frustration and anger and bitterness because of their lack of confidence, and they're inadequate. They're inadequate. And they know that the women do not enjoy being with them. But you can still love somebody without having to, attempt to, please them sexually. We know how to please, all of us know how to please each other sexually. Okay, if we just take the time to know how to do that. We don't necessarily need someone, but it's more pleasurable to have someone. But why would you just want to hold the fuck in? And that's essentially what it is. You just want a hold the fuck in. Well, once you build there was this group of people in the village. I'm not gonna say who they were, who attempted to somehow place reproduction inside of a man in hopes of a man becoming pregnant, and and procreating. I mean, giving birth to children. I mean, it's so much insanity with that it's just hard for me to contemplate. These men were attempting to be able to give life and not have a woman around at all. All they were doing is committing slow suicide, because that's not how that will never exist. Women can survive on a planet without men. And men need to understand that you, with the cause and effect, if you don't get out of this treatment of women, discriminating them against them, like I said, femicide, manslaughter, murder, whatever you want to call it, abuse, taking away their rights to learn. It's all done in. I mean, you're committing slow suicide on yourself, and eventually that boomerang will come back to you, and you're gonna wonder, because it was so funny. I mean, it wasn't funny, but it's almost. I mean, it is sad. Where I just heard somewhere. I'm not gonna say where these men were complaining because they said there are no women on their little village, in their little city, in their little state. There are not any women, or the women are slowly. Well, if they don't balance that, once all of those, I mean, they need to balance that. Just put it that way. Because you need women. Women are the ingredient that sustains life, not men. And I think men need to understand that. Again, there is a planet out in the galaxy, but I would love to visit one day, just to see how it works. I mean, it sounds fascinating to me. It really does. But they have no men. Men have been just taken away out of ever coming into that planet, because that's the technology that can be created. Well, that's the correct technology that can be enhanced in that way, where you can, if you need to get rid of predators, you have to do what you got to do. And so they did. And so anyway, no woman, no cry. Okay, so you need to reconsider your treatment of women. because all you're doing is committing slow suicide on yourself. And and your chances of, you cannot survive without women. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care what your posture is on, your superiority complex. You think you're the master of it all, master of women's bodies and women's rights. It's gonna all come back in a boomerang effect. And it's gonna affect you and your descendants as well. You are always included in your nefarious plans. Always. You're always part of the formula as well. No woman, no cry. No women, your planet will drift off into the abyss of the unknown, eventually being swallowed up by a black hole. How about that hole? Consider. Peace and love. Have fun, everybody. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.